Hey, what's up you guys? It's Nicholas Lionrider, and today we are going to be discussing basically all of the Jurassic World Evolution 2 news that came out during Gamescom this year. So, I know it's a day late, but I wanted to just collect everything that I could about Jurassic World Evolution 2, just because I know I'm probably going to miss something if I made individual videos. But the big thing, of course, is we have a release date, so it's going to come out on November 9th. So that is only about 2 months away now. So that's really, really exciting. And then we have this brand new trailer, which actually goes into a lot of detail about gameplay, how mechanics work. So I don't think anyone's really in the dark anymore about this game, about any of the building mechanics or any of the dinosaurs or anything of that nature. So I think that is awesome. So without further ado, let's get started. So right here, what we're looking at right now is the new building mechanic. And I actually want to stop right here because these are some of the things that I know a lot of the Planet Zoo people were really curious about. And that is, changes to how the game has evolved since the first game. So, as you can see here, we do have terrain painting that seems a bit more dynamic now. Now, we did kind of know this already. It's going to kind of adopt the Planet Zoo-esque mixing of terrain paints and stuff to get the right amount of, like, soil and grass and rock and stuff. So that's very similar to Planet Zoo, so that's not really much to talk about. But this stuff is the interesting stuff. So you can actually now tumble rocks, which wasn't available in the first game. You used to just place down rocks and there they are. But now you're able to actually like twist and turn rocks and stuff. It looks like it is a limited gizmo, so I don't think you can like raise and lower rocks into the ground. But at least you're able to rotate them this time, so that's pretty exciting. Obviously, the new maps and stuff look gorgeous. And I also want to comment on, like, the new dynamic interactions with the dinosaurs. They look awesome. Like, all of these interactions are so good. I think my favorite was, I think it's two of the Nasudos, where, like, one's gnawing on the other's horns. It was pretty great. We might see that later in the trailer. But, as you can see, here's the terrain paints and stuff. There's the rocks. And then this was the part that I think a lot of people were interested in, and that is how the aviary systems, and in turn the fish tanks, are going to work. So, the aviary system, we saw in a few trailers there was like different size aviaries and different aesthetics and stuff, and now we see that it's basically modular. So, we're going to discuss this when I get to some gameplay, because I'm actually going to be looking at a little bit of that. A few content creators that are bigger got early access to like play a demo version of the first campaign mission, but definitely a lot to look at here. So, basically what happens is you're going to start off by placing down an aviary not too dissimilar to the first game. So the base game aviary, or not the base game, but the Return to Jurassic Park DLC aviaries that were added worked very similar to this first one, but now you're able to add multiple, and then they'll dynamically kind of generate new designs, so you can basically make giant elaborate aviaries. So it is a little bit limiting. I don't know if it's super ideal. What this could mean for Planet Zoo is also up for debate. Maybe we're going to have a similar system, and so maybe it's not actually piece by piece. Now, personally, I don't even know if that would be that bad of a thing, because aviaries would be a pain to like actually make like piece by piece. So a system like this, even in Planet Zoo, I would actually appreciate, because that would save a ton of time on piece placement and stuff of that nature. So, if and when we get it ported to Planet Zoo in some form, I just hope that they just have the option to, like, add other modular pieces. But this is my favorite interaction right here. So these are two Nasudos, and one's just gnawing on the other horn. The sound design is also amazing. I know I'm not playing it right now, but you can hear the Nasudo like gnawing on the horn, and it like sounds like clanking and stuff on the beak. It sounds so cool. And I should probably mention the audio in this video. Yes, I am playing PK music, but the only reason is because if I played the Jurassic Park music, Universal would take down my video. So, before anyone comments that. So, we got another dinosaur. I have no idea what this is. It's just some sort of carnivore. I'm sorry, I don't know every dinosaur ever. But, like, honestly, like, this looks like it could even be a hybrid, if I'm being totally honest. But here we go. Here's a new look at the Dimorphodon. So, pretty cool here. And then the stuff I'm really interested in. Oh, by the way, it is a free-flying dinosaur here. is this stuff. So we get a closer look at how the building system actually functions. So again, we get a very clear look that basically the buildings are a predetermined shape. You choose the type of building, you choose the color scheme, and then you choose the decoration. And in the gameplay, we actually get to see that in a bit more detail. But here we go. So that was a look at a brand new flying dinosaur. Weirdly enough, I think after Gamescom, we have now seen, I believe, every flying dinosaur that's going to be in the game and most of the aquatics, which, speaking of the aquatics, I need to mention this because I don't know if anyone else is in the same boat here. I guess pun intended. The Mosasaurus does not look good, in my opinion. Like, I am actually kind of bothered by this. I really hope this is like a Binturong situation for Planet Zoo, where it's just not done yet, because it looks really rough. And we can talk about it a little bit, but first, let's just admire this shot. Jurassic Park San Diego. This is such a cool, like, look for it. It's not technically accurate. In the original Jurassic Park San Diego, the center platform was for herbivores, so it was for like Brachiosaurus and Stegosaurus and stuff. But so a T-Rex wouldn't be in the center, though it is just still a cool design. So I'm cool that this is like gonna be a building, and then if you make the accurate Jurassic Park San Diego, the whole thing was in a big like octagon looking thing with habitats along the sides. But look at that backdrop. You can see San Diego in the background, and this looks exactly like San Diego landscape-wise, all those giant mountains and palm trees and stuff in the middle of a desert. So that is the trailer. So like I said, key elements that were pretty big. We saw the building system, we saw aviaries, and we saw the marine stuff. But like I said, just here's the Mosasaurus. Like, again, no offense to the artist here, but this does not look good for a especially this is a next-gen game. This is going on the Series X and the PS5. Yeah, that's pretty rough. The normal maps and stuff are a bit questionable, and I mean, if we just quickly look up, like, Jurassic World Mosasaurus, right? Like, that is supposed to be this, just for reference. So this is supposed to be that. I don't know, like, that's rough. And I wanted to mention this as well, because we actually got to see a few other dinosaurs since then. And I saw this tweet, and I think it's the most accurate thing ever. So this is one of the new Deluxe Edition dinosaurs that you can get. Not dinosaur. It's a aquatic reptile. Which is the Attenborough-saurus, which looks amazing. Like, this is a really, really cool dinosaur. Or, I keep calling it a dinosaur. It's not a dinosaur. But it looks really, really cool. And so, this looks awesome. But then, this was the Plesiosaur that they showed in-game. And what is this? This is, like, actually ridiculous. This looks like a snake with, like, the lamest body ever. Like, I don't know how these two things are. Now, I will say, plesiosaurs are not actually that big in real life. Like, people think of Elasmosaurus, I believe, when they're thinking of a plesiosaur. But no, I mean, they are this small, but, like, that face looks janky as hell. Like, that's a bit rough. So like I said, I mean, it is still, like, I mean, they consider it alpha, but if the game's coming out in 2 months, guys, like, that, and they can turn it around, because there was some other rough stuff that I saw in some of the gameplay that needs to be ironed out, but, yeah, I really hope they do a quick art pass or something to, like, make some of these things look a bit nicer, because these are pretty questionable, I will say. Like, the Mosasaur and the Plesiosaur look really, like, here's some up close looks at the Mosasaur, and it doesn't look right. I don't know if it's the coloring, and, like, it looks slightly better in this shot than it does in this screen grab. I think they actually do a better version of it right here, but, like, yeah, that is not, like, this isn't, like, something that you're supposed to brag about. This looks like King Kong 2005's video game on the PS2. Like, this is some rough stuff. So, I really hope that the Mosasaurus gets touched up, because Oof. We did get some brand new screenshots, so here are some of the other new things. So we saw the Brachiosaurus, of course. There's some new T-Rex footage. T-Rex looks awesome. Here's some of the buildings. I really like the modern aesthetic of some of these sets. So these are a lot more like industrial and stuff, and I really like that. I like the kind of like brutalist art style. Here's another one, which is another flying dinosaur. So this is the Tropicnathus, I think. I hate pronouncing stuff I've never heard before, but I think it's Tropicnathus. Tropagognathus? I have no idea. But it's a funky looking flying dinosaur. It's not a dinosaur. I keep saying that. Flying reptile. It's one of those things where, like, you know, I can't... even when we're discussing, like, Prehistoric Kingdom, like, you say, like, the mammoths and stuff are also dinosaurs when they're not. So here's another look at the Mosasaurus with that gorgeous water. I actually will say the water in Jurassic World Evolution 2 looks better than Planet Zoo. So I keep calling it that. The reptiles in it don't look the best in my opinion, but the water itself looks really good. And it actually seems a lot more dynamic than previous games. So past that, we get, you know, some more screenshots. Here's the Allosaurus, which I said looks like an Imaginext figure with the patterning, but I love it. Like, it's pretty awesome looking, so I really like that. And then, you know, here's some of the decorations and stuff. And then some more screenshots. And then here's the Baryonyx. This is technically new as well. I like how it's, like, burnt. Like, it looks kind of cool. But yeah, so that is basically all the new screenshots on the website, to my knowledge. They did update the database a little bit to add a couple of the new dinosaurs, but nothing huge or anything. And then past that, we have a bunch of new, like, screen grabs and stuff from other areas. So here's the new raptor photo, and then we have a few other things. But the main thing that I think a lot of people want to see is gameplay, of course. So I'm going to shout out BestInSlot here. I decided to choose his videos just because I've interacted with him. So he's, you know, I have a better, you know, relationship with BestInSlot than other content creators that got access. But he is playing the campaign, and so what we see from the gameplay is it looks exactly like Jurassic World Evolution 1. Like, it's... if that is what you're looking for, if you're looking for Jurassic World Evolution 1 DLC or something, you're gonna love this game. If you're someone who was really on the fence about the first game and you're not really that interested in, like, the gameplay and stuff, you might not like Jurassic World Evolution 2 because it looks very, very similar. It has some minor changes and stuff, obviously different aesthetic. The graphics are slightly improved, but even a little questionable in some cases. But like I said, it's very, very similar to the first game, so anyone who has played the first game is going to be able to pick up and play and get used to this. You have the same systems of, like, morphing stuff, though you do have some genome splicing attributes and stuff that you can now change about the colorization of your dinosaurs and stuff. The creepy UI, of course. Again, I'm flipping around. This is about an hour of gameplay. You can go to any channel that, like, covered it. I know Evolution or Gaming Beaver covered it, and BestInSlot, and a few other people. A bunch of people that aren't even in our community, but, like, have 1 million subscribers. They probably have also covered it. So definitely just look up Jurassic World Evolution 2 gameplay. You'll have, like, 10 channels covering it. But it's basically all the same campaign, so everyone basically has the same kind of idea. You're all going to see a lot of Carnotauruses, you're going to see a lot of Mosasaurs, and a lot of Plesiosaurs. So, and Compsognathus, which you see right there. But like I said, I mean, like, unfortunately, I wish the gameplay was a bit more exciting, like the trailer. Like, the trailer, like, shows off, like, how cool the game can be. But let's face it, like, this is the majority of the game, is going through menus and stuff and looking through a bunch of tabs at, like, different things like this. So, I guess I'm just going to skip ahead to the part that people will really be interested in, which I believe is the two main aspects that separate this game from the other game. And that is going to be the building system and the aquatic system. So here we go. So I think if I go roughly over here, This is when he starts building it. Yep. So this is when he starts building the Mosasaur Lagoon. So as you can see, you place down basically a glorified circle. And then I'm sure Aviaries is going to work in like basically the exact same. And then you can place more circles next to it, basically like a grid-like pattern, and then it will just try to connect them up modularly. So that's kind of cool. Now, this is the thing that I was talking about with the jank in this actual like gameplay and stuff. So BestInSlot addresses it in the video as well. There's apparently not a building animation for the Lagoon yet, so it's secret. In the background, it's actually building right now. You just have no animation to indicate that. So it looks really janky. Like, it just looks like this is definitely unfinished. Which leads me to believe that maybe the Mosasaur and Plesiosaur and stuff that I was also saying looked a bit janky also might not be done. Because I will also say that the, what is it, the Attenborough looks amazing, and I think it's because it's a deluxe animal. And so I think the reasoning behind that is because it's a deluxe animal, they wanted to make sure that it's something that visually looks like, I want the deluxe edition, I want to pay for it. And we see that a lot with some of the other deluxe edition dinosaurs and stuff, like the Pachyrhinosaurus looks really good, and stuff of that nature. But as you can see, so part of the Lagoon has finally opened up, so we can check that out. And here's what the Lagoon looks like. Now, BestInSlot also mentions this in his video, and I kind of agree. It's a little lackluster. It's exciting because it's like, cool, we got lagoons and stuff in Jurassic World Evolution. But it's not, like, the craziest looking thing. It is a big empty pond. There's no real decoration. You can add a viewing area, and I love the viewing area. I wish that Jurassic World Evolution did more of that stuff. And Planet Zoo, for that matter. Because the underwater viewing looks amazing, and so I really like that. But the rest of the aesthetic is just kind of very basic and not very elaborate by any metric. I think he's just running around looking at the Compsognathus, and, you know, they pretty much move exactly how you'd expect. But I think right now he is going to actually do some of the maybe modifications to what they look like. He does it at some point. I need to find where that is. I might have skipped it if I'm being honest. But let's go and check out at least the Mosasaur in action, because I'm sure everyone wants to see that. So here we go. So the Mosasaurus in action looks fine. I don't think it's the big thing everyone was waiting on. And I was saying that this is kind of similar to if basically when Planet Zoo gets animals that we already had mods for. It's exciting because it's like, wow, that looks objectively better, but it's also kind of like, but we kind of had that. And I feel like seeing a lot of the gameplay footage from a lot of these content creators, I seem to like almost get that sense from like their excitement, where they're like, yeah, I'm excited, but I've also made videos covering the Mosasaur mod for the first game, or like, you know, the Mosasaur Lagoon stands and stuff, and like arena stadium seating and stuff. That has all been mods for the first game. So while it's very cool in this game, it's also not like the biggest deal by any means. And so you're just like, yeah, that's a Mosasaur swimming around, and that's cool. That, like, objectively it's cool. And they did add a few animations that it's like a little bit special. A thing that's actually cool is Jurassic World Evolution got fish before Planet Zoo did. So there's actual like dynamic fish that swim around the Mosasaur tank and stuff. So that's actually really cool in my opinion. Because we don't have ambient fish in the actual zoo game. So it's kind of nice that at least one of the games got them. So that's really exciting. But I am really interested in showing this off to you guys, and that is going to be the Lagoon viewing area. So right here is where he actually jumps into it. And as you can see, it's like kind of like a first-person mode looking at the actual lagoon, and it's looking really cool. Now, obviously, the Mosasaur doesn't go past it or anything, but you can like see the fish swimming around, and there's bubble effects, and the water looks clear. it's actually really, really cool in my opinion. And so I think that this is definitely awesome. And I actually wish that the game did more of this stuff, if they had other viewing areas that were a bit more elaborate and stuff. And I guess the first game had a couple of these, but like, that definitely looks really, really cool. So that basically covers that. And then the last thing before we go into the, what's it called? The Steam page to go over, like, you know, the actual details, is I want to cover the customization options. So here we go. So here are the customization options, and where I suppose the Planet Zoo people might get a bit disappointed or excited, depending on how you see it. So these are the options. So basically you make a building and then you can choose the aesthetic of it. So you have a few different themes, I guess. So you have like a Jurassic Park theme, Jurassic World, I assume they'll probably do like a Jurassic World or Jurassic Park San Diego. Do they have Jurassic World concrete panels? They have a bunch of different themes that you can do, and then you can choose a few different things, and there are a lot of options objectively. I think it's not going to help the game like long term, where it's like they are going to be very samey looking stuff. But honestly, I see the future when like modding takes over and stuff. This could be really useful because you'd just be able to make new shops and stuff by just making a few decorations and stuff that could be swapped out regularly. So like they show here, you can change the actual theme, then you can change the roof style, you can change the entrance style, you can change the location of the entrance, so you can kind of shift it over and stuff. So it is a modular building set, but it's really, really intricate, so I actually don't mind it too much. It's not Prehistoric Kingdom by any means, and but it's definitely really nice. So you got a lot of options, and then you can change the actual type of building, so that's kind of nice. And then what I like is you have a lot of color options too, so you actually do get to change the colors. You can change it to any custom hex color you want, so that's kind of nice. You have a secondary color, a roof color, you have a lighting color, so that's really exciting. The lighting looks really cool at night. And then you can change the decoration color. So I actually don't really mind it that much. So again, it's not piece by piece, but it is very, very cool in my opinion. So I definitely think it looks awesome. So actually I think he shows off, yeah, the lighting. So this is the lighting with different colors and stuff. So it looks really good. The lighting in this game at minimum looks really good at night. But that basically covers the gameplay. So the last thing that I want to just go over is the Steam page. So again, more screenshots here that you can basically take a look at. There's another look at the baryonyx. Here is the Mosasaur Lagoon with a bunch of Mosasaurs in them, and the feeding platforms because they eat sharks, which is pretty cool. And then just some more gameplay. So these are, I believe, some of the Deluxe Edition perks that you get. So I guess we can discuss that. So the game releases on November 9th, like I said, and then you have an option to get the Deluxe Edition as well. And the Deluxe Edition is going to include 5 new, I like how they have to say prehistoric animals, because yeah, technically you can't just say dinosaurs anymore. But you have the Geosterobergia, I think that's how you, that's a mouthful. Attenborosaurus, Pachyrhinosaurus, oh god, I hate this one. Huayangosaurus, I butchered that, and then Megalosaurus. So those are the ones you can definitely get. Again, we kind of saw some of them, the Attenborosaurus. I want to see if I can find the photos. I might come back just to show those off, because the dinosaurs and stuff look really, really good. But it also comes with some new stuff, so you can also get some skins for your vehicles, and then I think a couple of new building types. I think they said you get like a sushi shop and one other shop. And then it's actually not too bad. It's $10 more. So I will say this is kind of an expensive game for what you're getting, in my opinion. It is $70 for the Deluxe, which, you know, I mean, the base game being $60 isn't crazy, especially since it's a console release. But it's kind of like, I don't know, that it does seem like a lot for what, again, does really seem like extended JWE1 DLC. So as someone who didn't like really play the first game like as it like came out and stuff, I think this could be a bit more beneficial to me as someone who would enjoy it. but I do think $70 for the deluxe edition is a bit steep. So, I'm a little iffy on it. There's some of the vehicle skins and stuff you get. Here are the dinosaurs. Here we go. So you have the Huyang. I'm just gonna call it the Huyang. It looks pretty good, actually. I actually really like it. I've had a few people say that they feel like this shouldn't have been a deluxe edition, and that this should have been in the base game, and then something else should have been whatever. I can kind of see both. I don't think it's the most... It's not a mainstream dinosaur like the first game, like had Styracosaurus in the deluxe edition, but it's definitely a popular-ish of the niche ones. Pachyrhinosaurs, I really like this skin. So, this was the first mod ever that was a new species for JWE1, and it's now in the game, and it actually looks really good, and I think it works really well as a deluxe edition dinosaur. So, I'm very excited about this. Megalosaurus looks pretty good. I like the patterning. It's like a leopard patterning. And otherwise, it looks like an Allosaurus, so no issue there. But it looks really good. And then Geosternobega, Bergia, looks cool. It's actually a really pretty looking pterosaur, so it definitely looks cool. And then, like I said, I love the Attenborosaurus. Looks awesome. That's probably my favorite out of the deluxe edition animals. And then these skins look okay. I mean, I like the InGen Jeeps and stuff. They look cool. But I think that pretty much covers everything. So, thank you all for watching if you stayed for the entire video, of course. And if you guys are wondering, Prehistoric Kingdom is going to be revealing their beta trailer tonight. So, I am definitely going to be covering that on my channel as well. So, any dinosaur fans, definitely stay tuned, because it's a busy week for dinosaur stuff. So, definitely exciting. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.